My name is Deanda Johnson. I'm interviewing Mr. Marvin Russell Lett from Michigan, Ohio, for the Lett family reunion taking place on July 15th, 2006 in Zanesville, Ohio at the Holiday Inn. Thank you very much, Mr. Lett, for agreeing to do the interview. I know I just asked you this, but I'm going to ask you again for the camera's sake. What is your full name, and please spell it?
It's Marvin, M-A-R-V-I-N, Russell, R-U-S-S-E-L-L, Lett, L-E-T-T.
What is your date and place of birth?
I was born in Detroit, Michigan, in July 12th, 1938.
Who were your parents?
My father was Russell, middle name Guy Lett. My mother was Helen Dolly, is their maiden name, Lett.
Do you know where they were born?
Both of them were born in Remus, Michigan.
And do you know approximately the time they were born?
The year?
Yes.
Dad was born in July 28th, 1907. And mother was born September the 11th, 1960. And I smile because that's September 11th.
Oh, yeah.
9/11.
Do you know the names of your grandparents, first your maternal grandparents?
My mother's parents, my mother's parents were Stella Norman Dolly, and my mother's father's name was Lewis Henry Dolly. He was from Philadelphia. He was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was a Philadelphia lawyer.
Oh, okay.
And they met out in Portland, Oregon, when Granddad went to University of Oregon Law School. And my grandmother's family had gone out there because I think they had in 19-something, 8 or 9, they had like a depression or something in Michigan, and so a lot of the families went out west to work in the hops. Okay.
So your grandparents were out west, and then they came back to Michigan?
Some of them did, yes.
But were they born in Michigan?
Yes.
And
yes.
then they left to go to school and
Right.
then came back?
Yes, my grandfather left.
Oh, okay.
Well, he was born in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and he happened to be out there at the University of Oregon in school. That's when he met my grandmother.
So how did they how did they get back to Michigan?
And just some of the family came back to Michigan, to Remus, Michigan, and when they married, he practiced out there for a short while, and they moved to Philadelphia, his home. Did not like it. They moved to Washington D.C. My grandmother did not like it because it was too hot. She said they had to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and go sit on the stoop in the summertime before air conditioning, So she didn't like it, and she thought we could do better than this, she said, so we're going back to Michigan. So it was cooler.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I have 2 sisters, yes.
And are they older or young? How is the
I have one
birth order?
that's 3 years younger, and then I have another one that's she's quite a bit younger. Yeah, she's born in 1960.
When was your other sister born?
41.
So you're the oldest?
Yes.
How was schooling? Where did you attend school growing up?
Public school, went to in Detroit, Michigan, and for the college, I attended Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee, undergraduate school and graduate school at Howard University in Washington, D.C. for the master's.
Can you tell me the years that you attended Fisk?
Gosh. Finished Fisk in 63, yes, for the bachelor's. And Howard finished for the master's, 83. Okay.
And what was your master's in?
What's it called? Planning.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the full title. I don't use it, so.
Urban planning?
Urban planning, that's
okay.
it, yes.
So what did you do after you finished school?
Undergraduate school, I taught school for a little while. I taught school, yeah. Yeah, I taught school. I'm trying to think what I did. I taught school. And then I worked in transportation for the bus company in Washington, D.C. for a while, you know, until I got my master's. And then I did other things. After that, I went on to work for urban planning company, architectural, and then I took a job overseas, in the Middle East.
Okay, and how long did you live in the Middle East?
5 years in
5 years.
Saudi Arabia.
And what do you do now?
Now I teach a little bit, I sub. I took an early retirement from public schools in Remus, Michigan, in high school, and now I sub in public schools in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
So you were born in Detroit, Michigan. How did you get back to Remus, where the original settlement was?
When I was living overseas, my family, my parents moved to Remus. And so when I came back, there was no place in Detroit for me to come home to. They'd moved back up there. So I thought, well, okay, I guess I'll give that a try. And so I moved back up there. And I got a job teaching high school. I taught German for a few years, and then I taught psychology. And then I was head of the native program for the school system, Chippewa Hill school system, for a number of years. And then I ended up teaching English, and that's what I ended up doing.
You said your grandfather was a lawyer. What did your father do for a living?
He worked in construction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did your mother work?
She was, yes, she was a police matron for the city of Detroit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How did you start to learn about your family history?
At the dinner table, every night. And we'd go back to, we had a farm in Mecosta, Michigan, which is another little town next to Remus. We had a farm there, and we'd go there for holidays and things like that, the summer for a while. We had relatives, lots of relatives up there, and so we'd stay with them a lot of times too, you know. And folks would talk about their families all the time, you know. And we had an old settlers reunion. We had our picnics, and so, you know, where everybody would get together. So you had lots of cousins.
Now, you said who your maternal grandparents were. Who were your paternal grandparents?
My father's name was Fred Lett, and his mother's name was, her last name was Guy. She died when he was young. I forgot her. Mary Guy was her name. And okay.
So you have Guys and Letts on both your maternal.
But just my father's side.
Just your father's
Guys,
side.
yes.
Oh, okay. And your mother's side is connected to which families?
Norman. Her mother's Norman. Her mother was a Norman, yes. And her father was, as I said, he was from outside Philadelphia, and we didn't know them too well because they lived in Philadelphia. But mother's side, it was Normans, the Males, the Myers, and I think that's about it. Norman, Males, and Myers, yes.
What most interests you about your family history?
I think that hearing the stories of how they came to Michigan and some of the things they had to do, and you know, how it used to be, and how much easier we had it than they had it, and things like that, you know.
So, do you know how your family got to Michigan?
They say by ox and cart and stuff like that. Some of the stories that they've told us that they had a few dogs, and they'd walk along in the daytime. The children would, or something. And the older ones would ride, and however they rode in buckboards, I guess, and things like that. And they'd come to town. They'd set camp up at the outside of town, and then they'd go to town to get supplies. But this one dog that they had, one of the stories, would always get into fights with the dogs, and so a lot of times they were chased out of town because the dogs would get in a fight, and they had to clear out of town fast and they get on to the next town. And, but I think for the most part they walked. There were no roads, really, paths.
Do you know what year your family came to Michigan?
My dad's great-grandfather was James Guy, and he's on the book that they're selling down there. He was the first one to come to that area, and he has a deed signed by Abraham Lincoln. They were doing homestead, and they cleared the property. I think it's 160 acres, and if they worked the property, clear it and plant stuff. And that's what he did. That's how he got his farm.
And is that farm still in your family?
No.
No.
Some family members live on it, but it's broken up into parcels.
So how is the Michigan family connected to Ohio?
Well, some of the same names. So many of them resemble the family. You know, you can see a lot of family resemblances. And you can hear stories about some of the people who went back and forth. My father came back here with his brother and some other relatives in the 50s to a reunion that they had. I think they used to call it the Simpson-Lett reunion. And he came back and told stories about some of the people he met and hearing things like that and the same names.
Are you related to the Simpsons at all?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
The Calamans, I forgot about them, yes.
Oh. So do you know anything about the Lett settlement here in Ohio, or did you ever hear about it growing up?
No.
No.
The only thing I heard about it is coming to these reunions for 3 years now, so.
Oh, okay, so
right,
that part of the
that's-
history
Right.
isn't told much in.
I knew we came from Ohio, but that was about it. Although I have heard stories, yes, I think my mother's grandmother said she was born in Virginia, and she named the town at the year, and as it turns out, it was just before the state broke off to West Virginia, or however they did it, you know. They left the Union, I think, or joined the Union.
They joined it.
Right.
So your mother's mother was from Virginia?
Mother's grandmother.
Mother's grandmother. Do you know what part?
Great-grandmother. No, we were today down in where they were, some of them, and that was in the Chesterhill.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe farther down, the males and the Myers, and we saw several markers, you know, grave markers of males.
So near Morgan County.
Yes, I guess. I don't know. Ohio.
Growing up, did you attend church?
Yes.
What church was your family associated with?
Well, we belong to the Episcopal Church. Yeah.
Are you still a member of that church till this
Yes,
day?
yes. Well, we also attended the church in Remus, my father's church. His great-grandfather founded that church, the Wheatland Church of Christ.
Okay.
And when we were there, we'd visit it and go there and stuff. And Dad insisted we be baptized from there, so.
And the Church of Christ is separate from Episcopalian.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you know, how are they different? Do you know?
Well,